Hey, what's up, world? This is Hassan with the Struggling Day Trader channel, and I'm here to go over my trades for the day. Today was a good day. Yesterday was a struggle. The day before that was a struggle. Today we struggled, but we made it a really good day. We were really able to turn things around, lock in some nice profit, and make up for a couple of those bad days. All right, so let's take it from the top. See right here, we got MU. So reason I liked MU, it's been uptrending for a while. If you look down here on the daily, it's been uptrending, right? Steadily moving up, making higher highs and higher lows. And this morning, it gapped up above everything. This is basically a blue sky setup, right? Highest it's ever been. No trading resistance above. So, you put these on the watch list hoping that thing goes, to the moon. But that didn't happen, but we still were able to take a couple good trades on it. So initially, I noticed it traded down on a lot of volume, but then when it hit this level, a lot of buyers came in and pushed it back up, right? And we tried to trade it back above VWAP, kind of came back down. Nice green bar though, inside the same range. And then another bar, red bar, kind of hanging out on the bottom side of VWAP. And a slightly lower low here. Then we traded above VWAP, which, this was kind of the first stage of it looking bullish. But this top wick right here, in hindsight, you really don't want to jump in a trade right after something like that, right? Because this is a sign that it's gonna trade down a bit. But I can't even see why why I triggered myself into this trade. Let me look at the 1 minute and maybe that'll kind of clarify, even though I'm not supposed to be taking any entries on the one. Okay, yeah. So this was an entry I took on the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, you can kind of see what I was thinking. Made a high here, a higher low here, right? And then a higher high right here. Then it pulled back and kind of a hammer pin, not really, not a solid one. The body's actually bigger than the wick right here. So this isn't really a great buy setup. Also, given this run, when it pulls back, you really want about a 50% retracement from the high. And this is not that, right? This is barely pulled back, right? But if you see here, this is a much better retracement, right? So this is why I don't like to trade on the 1 minute. Or this is why I'm training myself to stop trading on the 1 minute. I'm at this point, I'm just about to take it off and not have the chart at all. But I really like using the 1 minute for taking profit. Anyway, back to there. On the 5 minute, clearly this is a bad trade after this long topping wick. So I got in on the 1 minute up here. Looks terrible on the 5. And then when it pulls back to make its retracement, I get stopped out. Now, on the 5, if you look here, we have a high here and then a higher low down here and a nice long bottoming tail, nice bottom wick here, and we're hovering right there above VWAP. So it sold off and then it traded up to VWAP and it's kind of been clinging to the bottom side trying to break above. So I decided to go ahead and hop in here with risk back down to there where I got stopped out underneath this candle. And it trades up and then throws an even better candle with a longer wick, nice hammer pin candle right here. So I added and made a higher high here, higher low here. And you almost could have added here too. I thought about it, but there's not really much more room to pull my stop up to make adding here make sense. So I'm holding here, shooting for high of day, and I was kind of hoping for a bigger run, but I've had my stop up close because you don't want to be too greedy. High of day is you got to take some profit off at high of day, right? And that's what I did. I had 100 shares total down here. Started out with 50 here, added another 50 here, so that's 100 shares. And I sold 75 there and held on to 25 shares. I was actually holding on for 100. Usually I'd be more aggressive when I see a small candle like this, but I think by the time it traded up to here, I was already in a few other positions, so I couldn't really optimize on taking profit on this one. I was in a lot of positions today at the same time. It got to one point where I was just like, oh my God, what do I do? Because everything was in the money, and it's like, what do I do? How do I manage all of this and make sure I don't miss any money? But anyway, I think I just ended up pulling my stop up. After it traded up there, I put my stop up to about the same level I had sold previously, so that if it broke through this level, I would go ahead and take my profit. So yeah, stopped out right there. That was a great trade. Was able to recoup my losses from this first entry. And then this setup here was really nice, in my opinion. However, it's kind of late in the day. So it didn't really run like I wanted it to run. And I didn't really have the patience to just sit back and let it ride or give it room to wiggle, because I didn't want to give anything back at this point of the day. So I did take the entry. I feel like you got to take this. Whenever you get a clean pullback and it's a higher low at VWAP and it throws that hammer bar, that hammer pin candle, you got to take it. You just got to on GP, So I took it, went right into the money, and I just raised up my stop and let it stop me out there. So I probably made another 1R off of that move, which was cool. Ended up at 2R altogether. So I lost 1R here, got 2R back here, which put me at 1R, and then I added one more R here, ending the day at 2R on MU. So my takeaway from this is stop entering on the one. Stop entering on the 1 minute. That's pretty much my only flaw on this one. I would have liked to have been more aggressive with taking profit, but I mean, I can't really be mad at myself. I was in other things making money, so it worked out. All right, let's move on to AMD. Yeah, this is poor trading here. This is poor trading. Big indecision candle, big wick at the bottom, also a big wick at the top, and then it trades up higher with a huge topping tail, pushing it down. This was bullish to me, the tweezer pattern where it basically engulfs the previous candle with a green candle, and I took the break of the next candle, but this was a pretty intense candle. Like, where am I going to put my stop loss? Like, this was a poor decision, because this is a $2 candle, and obviously I didn't give it that much room. I gave it $1 just because that's ridiculous, and it stopped me out. This type of play this early in the morning when things are still rangy, had a lot of volume in at the first part of the day on AMD, and it just really drug down. So I'd like to not take those kind of entries. I'm thinking with trading on the 5, you kind of got to hang around the first 30 minutes or so before you really get into anything. And you really want to make sure you got the higher high and higher low. Also, the entry pattern has to be a lot better. So really wait for the clean setup. Now, my second entry, this pattern actually I traded yesterday. It's almost the exact pattern, right? We'll make a low, nice engulfing bar, goes up to VWAP, trades down just a little bit, and then basically, what do you call this? A harami, kind of a harami pattern, but basically, I bought the break of this candle after it made a higher low here, and it worked out great. Oh, well, actually, my first entry I sized incorrectly. I sized way too big for this type of pattern. I would definitely want to put my stop loss here, but where I sized that, I went in with 100 shares on a $1 candle. So I only was able to give my stop a quarter of the distance that I should have, and it stopped out very quickly. When I got back in, I went in with 25 shares, which allowed me to put my stop loss way down here, right? Now, it came up, made a higher high very nicely over VWAP, came and tested again. This would have been an okay spot to add just to take profit again back at the high or be patient, but I'm not mad at I'm not mad at what I did here. I wish I didn't throw away this $25, along with that one. So that had me down 2R, $50. And then I made this back and still down 25. What happened here? Let's see. 25 shares. Did I give this one too much room? I think I might have gave that too much room. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I gave that way too much room. So I lost about 2R on the first trade and then another R on that trade. And so I got 2R back here, which put me at negative 25. So both of these failed entries, I mismanaged not only my position size, but the entry as well. But I was able to recoup that, and so we ended up with just 1R down, minus $25 on that one. So wait for the clean setup. Share size properly. Be patient. I think what happens is I see it bubbling. I see the volume coming in. I see the price starting to move up. I see the time in sales with the green orders coming through, and I jump in without giving myself time to calculate how many shares I actually need for that particular setup. So that's a part of FOMO, not wanting to miss the trade, wanting to make sure I get in. And if I'm going to jump in like that, I need to go in super light, and know that I'm giving it plenty of room. So yeah, not a terrible situation. Meta though, this is trade of the day for sure. Very clean. Pretty strong open. I like to draw a candle over that high volume opener. Draw a support line over that long high volume opener. As you can see, traded right up over that, tested it again, way down into it, but got bought right back up. I was probably tempted to buy right here. Actually, I think I was watching something. What was I watching? Meta? I think I had something else on my watch list, and it was trading down, so I swapped it out for Meta. And so it traded up again, and then traded down and made this really nice narrow range 5-minute candle. Now, it's not a hammer bar, doesn't have a big bottoming tail, but these narrow range candles where they're really small compared to the other ones, those are usually direction changes. Like, if it breaks up above in the opposite direction, it's usually a go. So I put my order in above the high of that, and I gave it some room. I think I gave it down past VWAP. 10 shares. Yeah. I gave it a nice amount of room, which also made me hungry to add more because I knew I was in there pretty light. And so when it threw this candle, I was ready to get in there, and I jumped right in there. Now, of course, I started sweating when it pulled down to here, and then it threw another really narrow range candle. And this actually would have been the best place to add, not here. As you can see, if you would have added here, you wouldn't have spent any time in the red. You wouldn't have had to sweat during this pullback right here. But hindsight is always 20/20. Anyway, from there, it took off. Beautiful trade. I was originally in at 506.70. First take profit was at 511.81. And the next one at 516.34. That's a move. That's a move. We talking about a $10 move there. Beautiful trade. Yeah, so I'm really happy about that one. Risk $25, made $106.95. Beautiful 4R winner. So my takeaway from this would be a little more patient for the ad. Wait for the dip. The narrow range bars are so nice because they offer a really good risk to reward. So like on a bar like that, which is, see, 506.72 to 507.54, that's less than $1 risk on a $500 stock. So you could get, I wouldn't get 50 shares, but if of course you're adjusting your share size based on your risk, but yeah, you enter there and you share size enough to put your stop right underneath that candle, or if you want to be really cautious, underneath VWAP. And yeah, man, beautiful trade. Meta traded very clean today. All right, NVDA. I don't know, man. This is almost trade of the day too. This is also a great trade. We had a nice open. It sold off and got bought right back up, made a higher high, and kind of sold off deeply past VWAP, but bought back up again, closed over VWAP, came up, and then kind of consolidated a little bit over here and threw this nice doji bar there. And so I set an order in right there. And only 5 shares because we're talking about a $3 stop, right? So 5 shares there, which I have my stop loss nicely under VWAP, but I'm also looking to add. So when it came up here and broke over this area here, I went ahead and added. And I was able to, I think I moved my stop right under here. And boom, it was nice. I was really holding out for 925. This thing ended up going to 922.75 on this run. It's hard to be mad at myself because I'm catching these big runs every day. And so, you just kind of got to toe the line and try to balance taking profit and letting it run, So I'm not too mad about that. Ended up in at 907.29, sold at 915.90, so that's a good $8 move. And then I really like this candle here, getting close to VWAP and kind of holding a level there. This was 915 to 916 area, so I went ahead and jumped back in and took another 2R out on that bad boy from 917 to 922. Another $5 move. So yeah, NVIDIA and Meta, man, we did the thing on NVIDIA and Meta for sure. That was beautiful. This one was almost 5R. So yeah, I guess you got to give NVIDIA the trade of the day because we made more money on it, right? So I don't know. What do I say on NVIDIA? Good job. Good job. All right, NVO. This is my first time ever trading NVO or hearing about NVO. As you can see, got a little antsy over here. My strategy is buying at VWAP. I mean, it at least got to be pretty darn close to VWAP, right? And this ain't even a dip. This is just a bottoming tail in the middle of a consolidation. So, you know, we come up here, we make a high, and then we double top that high. 136.50, 136.44. I guess we made a slightly higher high here. But this guy right here, this isn't really a pullback. This is just a consolidation. It's just still moving sideways, right? And I bought this doji because it was narrow. It was narrow range. But look how far away from VWAP it was. Like, it's at this point, it hadn't even tried to go to VWAP. What's the high here? 135.89. 135.86. So really, if I did weighted, this is more of a trigger candle here. And if I would have placed an order to break over the top, this candle never broke over the top, and that would have kept me out of the trade. So this was just a poor entry here, especially after this top tail here. That top wick, that's got to make you wait. When you see that, it's like, okay, you got to show me something. You got to show me a higher low or something. So this was regrettable. And then I added again. I think I probably added on the 1 minute with this one, which is adding to a red trade, which is a no-no. I haven't done that in a long time. I forgot that was even a rule, that you don't add in the red. Excuse me. But I'm kind of in a transition where I'm moving away from trading on the 1 minute and getting used to trading on the 5 minute. So there's a few quirks and things like that I kind of need to work out and create a few new rules for myself to keep me safe on the 5. So anyway, after that, now it comes down to VWAP, and this is my territory right here, right? And this isn't a great candle, but it's a color change. And let's see, what do we look like on the 15 at this point? Yeah, on the 15, I think I liked it a lot more on the 15. So, yeah, I went ahead and decided to buy the break of that candle. It kind of looks worse when you zoom out a little bit, huh? But it worked out. I bought the break of that candle, and stop loss under here. 50 shares from 135.21 up to 136.91, so about $2. And sold the rest at 137.92. 135 to 137.92. Almost $3. Almost $3 there. So I was able to recoup that loss, and then I did hold 5 shares from that, and I added 5 more right here, kind of waiting for something to break back above this bottoming wick. But after this, it just felt like it wasn't going anywhere, so I raised my stop up to my average and broke even on that. So happy to walk away with 2R on that trade. My takeaway from that NVO is wait for VWAP. Slap. Yeah, on the ad as well. Must wait for VWAP. All right. But, all in all, that wasn't a bad trade. All right, coin was our worst ticker of the day. Excuse me. I think I pulled up BTC. Coin and BTC, I mean, they're related. But I don't know, for some reason I had in my head that it was tracking with BTC. So when BTC is doing well, then coin is going to be right behind it. But that's not the case. That's definitely not the case. You definitely got to trade the chart. And I'm not too mad at the setup. Yes, I am. I'm pretty mad at the setup. Here's why. I got a lower low. lower high. Maybe this was a higher low, but the retracement, I mean, it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, I don't know. You know, sometimes it just don't work out. Sometimes it just don't work out. I decided to take 2 swings at this one. I don't know why the high of this candle, 240.27, 240.23. So this one never even broke the high of that one. So I don't know why I got in this. This trade here was like, I can give myself a pass for this one, but this trade here was stupid. This was straight stupid. I just like, maybe I seen the green. Sometimes when I get stopped out, I'm always, and then it goes green right after stopping me. I feel like, oh man, now it's about to go. But this ain't the 1 minute chart no more, you know. This is the 5. So when you get stopped out, you probably need to take a step back. Yeah, so that second trade was trash. And this trade was also trash. This is just in the middle of a candle. Oh, that's what happened. I wanted this. And I was literally about to punch in an order to place an order for the break of this candle. But as soon as I'm typing it in, this thing shoots up. And I'm like, oh man, it's about to go. And I put in a limit order down here hoping that it would come back down and catch me in. And that's stupid. That's not how I play the game. That was just FOMO. Like, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. And so, yeah, all 3 of these trades was straight garbage. Garbage on coin. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of give myself a pass on the first one, but if I can find something wrong, it's that it was lower high plus lower low, and that's a no-no. Second trade is FOMO. Second and third trade was just straight FOMO. Oh, FOMO. Trash. Yeah, so we just gotta chill, man. Gotta chill. Gotta protect the bag. This was ridiculous to lose $82 on this. Straight ridiculous. All right, and my good friend SMCI, Super Microcomputer. I was watching this definitely on the 15 and the hourly also. Sold off, made a pretty extreme low, but a lot of volume came in, got bought back up, and came over here, wiggled a bit, higher low, higher high, higher low, right at VWAP, just kind of kept lingering around VWAP. I went ahead and took a stab at it, man. It looked good. It looked really good. Let's see what that 15 was looking like when I jumped in there. Look at that, you know. It looked good. So we at 5. All right, yeah. So I get on in there, stop loss on down here, let it make a new high, stop loss probably up to about right there. Comes down and does a bunch of lingering. Stop loss is up here and comes up quite a bit. It was struggling. I could see it struggling. And I just went ahead and raised my stop up because I just didn't want to give anything back. And I almost had 2R on that. When I had 2R at some point, I just didn't take it off the table. So, I mean, pretty close to 2R. So, I'm not mad at that. It's a pretty good read. Pretty fun trade. Especially trading with my guy Hadi in the chat. Appreciate you, man. Salute, brother. Yeah, but it was a fun day, man. We made some good money today. Had some good moves. Anyway, I'm trading live every morning. The market is open. I try to start my stream around 9:15, and I got all my charts up, and I'm just trading. You know, I'm making mistakes. I'm losing. I'm winning. I'm celebrating, and mourning the lost funds. You know, it's a good time, man. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I try to do my trade review every day, also after my trading session. So. If you benefited from this or enjoyed any of the content, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.